And you have just crossed the line. End of debate. Report to the cargo bay and remain there until this is over. Is that understood?
So before Matinga enters the chat, why don't we pick what glasses?
Why don't we talk about her?
Let's talk about her. Yes. When my baby calls, should do whatever did, jump to it. Ba ba bum bum. When my baby calls, should we be there? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And for the kids that don't know, that's Aretha Franklin. Jump to it. Now.
Jump
To it. All right, let me see if this bitch is ready. Well, and if she ain't ready, she ain't ready. Hold up now. You may do whatever you wish. I'm at S Fox Studios today, and the proprietress, S Fox, she ain't ready. Wait, all I see is a Wonder Woman thing. Oh, put her in the waiting room.
Darth Vader.
She gone. She gone. So why don't we talk about shirts while we wait for this bitch to get it together for the 11th week in a row. You're wearing a shirt that says Drag Wars. Tell me about it.
Yes, it's from.
Why do you guys keep pimping out that brand? They're not paying us. This is not sponsored content, darling.
They should with all this.
You know what?
Promotion.
I'm going to bleep out the name of that company. I am. Just tell me what's on the shirt. It says Drag Wars.
It's a picture of RuPaul.
RuPaul.
And
the Mexican wrestler RuPaul.
Michelle Visage.
Michelle Visage, yeah. Let me see.
As Princess Leia.
Okay, yeah.
And then Carson as C-3PO. And
Carson as C-3PO, right.
What's the other queen?
Ross Matthews as R2-D2.
Ross Matthews as R2-D2.
Why are you giving that show free promotion and free publicity? What has Drag Race ever done for us?
Nothing.
Not a goddamn thing. All right.
Not at all.
But we're not here to talk about Drag Race. We're not here to talk about Star Wars. We're here to talk about Star Trek. If this bitch is ready, let's check. Check. Look at her room. What do we see? What do we see, booby?
We see Matinga.
Well, there she is. Perfect timing. Hello, girl.
Hey there. Wait, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
okay.
We can. We were talking about shirts. What shirt are you wearing?
Oh.
Build-A-Bear.
Oh. I for the plus-size hairy community. I love it.
Can you see he's stuffing the stuffing up the bear's butt?
Oh, how provocative.
Wow. I think she should wear that to Disney.
Honey, can you imagine? I actually it's like a pajama top I use because it's like I ordered it by mistake triple extra large and child she's so big.
I had a pajama top once. I said, bitch, why you fall asleep?
Why are you singing to me, Don't say?
Oh, a pajama party, booby.
Oh, yep. I just got it. Pajama party.
Ba-dum-punch.
Did they have a second song?
No.
Oh,
are you sure?
I guess it wasn't much of a party.
No.
But can you? This is, I don't remember what. Something Smith. Paul Smith. Okay.
Paul Smith.
It's a little monkey on a tricycle or bicycle.
Now, Paul Smith is the shoe guy.
Paul Smith. Well, fashion. Paul Smith of Smith and Wesson Guns. So, guys.
Now, Miss Honey, is that a background or are you sitting outside?
I'm really here.
You're really out in nature.
Look, in the sun.
Gorgeous.
In the sun.
Yeah, I'm expecting a deer to walk out any minute.
You never know. There are definitely deer up here. I am coming to you today from S Fox Studios because it was nice and bright out, but it's also sweltering hot, and I am
gasping.
Now, did you say S Fox Studios?
Yes.
What is S Fox?
Children, don't Google that.
My friend Stephanie Fox, who's a photographer, and is roundabout these ways up here in rural wherever I am. Mm-hmm. I said, hey, bitch, it's nice out. Can I do my thing up on your lanai? She says, show.
You know, what cool thing about these white people is they got the good Wi-Fi that you could actually get outside.
Did I say she was white?
Did you say she wasn't?
Do you have nice Wi-Fi?
I got good Wi-Fi, but I ain't white.
It's 5G.
Listen.
So she's white.
Is it Amy Carter? Is it Claude Montana?
Is it Claude Montana?
No,
She
it's
got
Marie.
Carter.
No,
Amy
it's
Carter.
It's Marie.
It's
Marie
Nice.
Montana.
Marie Montana.
It's 5G. Okay, so listen.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter.
Hello.
They do.
But they do.
They absolutely do.
They do.
They do.
Especially on Voyager.
Especially on Voyager. And we're going to keep this non-current events because
Yes. You
because-
want to keep it timeless. I know.
bitch. First of all, you could drop that attitude right now.
Missy.
Secondly,
See.
you know, by the time this comes out, we will have
There will be peace in the world.
no.
But they will.
we
But
would
they
have
will
brought.
they'll always matter.
Oh.
All right, so we are
Oh,
here.
boo!
Oh,
We talked about our 2 T-shirts. I'm sorry, but I just want to mention your T-shirt.
Oh, we did
which
already.
is a classic. Oh, it's Drag Wars. It's not Star Wars.
No.
Who are the drag
It's
queens?
RuPaul, Michelle Visage, Carson Kressley,
Oh my
And
God, I
what's the-
love it.
and that other bitch. I forgot her name.
And Miss Honey.
Yeah.
Miss Honey.
Did I mention that it's like 98 degrees where I am?
Are you
Did you mention
gasping?
that you were like 98 years old?
Okay, so we are here for the muting of Anthony. She's muted. And what we're going to do today is an episode of Star Trek Voyager because this is Fire Chakotay, the most essential, fantastic Star Trek podcast in the quadrant. I can't hear you, girl. Maybe there's some kind of phase discrepancy, bitch.
Age?
That too. All right. Oh, she better not show. Oh, okay. She's all right. All right. You're back. You're back. Come back to engineering. Or don't. We got to get this episode started right now. I am Mike Diamond. Oh my God, did I mute you both? I'm so sorry, girl. I did that by myself. Oh, shit. Girl, we want to keep viewers.
Yes. Again.
Now, why don't one of you start the episode? Oh, she's still on mute. I'm sorry, girl. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, yeah.
Yes, she is.
Oh. Okay, everybody's back now. Everybody's back.
Go ahead. Start the episode, Matinga.
Yeah, Matinga.
Wait, what are we doing? I have no. What are we doing? What are we doing first?
Fire
There's a
Chakotay.
spatial rift, and it is annoying me.
Oh, lovely.
Okay.
Well, listen, guys. Welcome to another edition of Fire Chakotay, the greatest of all Voyager podcasts. And today we are covering an episode called Deathlock. But girl, I thought it was called Dreadlock, and I gagged.
Deadlock.
Deadlock, darling.
But
Deadlock.
I thought it was. I did say Deadlock.
No,
Oh,
no,
you
There's
said
another
it.
one
said
called
Deadlock.
Dreadnought.
Hey, Booby. Hey,
No,
Booby.
no. Wait, it's
Hey, Booby.
Deathlock.
Yeah.
Hey, Booby. Hey, Booby. Do you wanna set it off?
Wait, but is it Deathlock?
it's
Dead-
Deadlock.
Deadlock.
Deadlock, darling.
Deadlock.
Deadlock,
Oh.
Milan.
Darling.
Well,
Deadlock,
darling,
Milan, darling.
I thought it was Dreadlock, and I thought, where are the Kazon? No Kazon in this episode.
We're gonna keep that intro. This is Mike Diamond.
This is Miss Matinga.
And this is Booby.
We are in season 2 of Star Trek Voyager, and this episode is called Deadlock.
Deadlock, excuse me.
If you wish. And I have to say, it's a kick-ass fucking episode.
Yeah.
It's
it
pretty
really
good.
is.
It's really
So
good.
good.
Who wants to do the little synopsis, the setup? What's happening?
Any volunteers?
Okay, so
Are there any more?
Voyager is going along there in the Delta Quadrant, as they are wont to do. And something happens in engineering? No.
No. It starts off in the mess hall
No.
with Ensign Wildman.
Yes. It starts off with Ensign, the legendary Samantha Wildman, and Neelix in the mess hall. She's
And-
very much 15 months pregnant.
Suddenly she's so pregnant.
She's been pregnant. I mean, listen, it's coming to the end of season 2. She's been pregnant for like 51 episodes.
Yeah.
That's a long time to be pregnant.
Yeah. It's hard to tell how time flows on these shows.
Right. But
And then-
suddenly she's big.
And then Neelix, like, being all sort of
Creepy.
weird and creepy.
And what is he wearing?
I don't
A
know.
space monk.
But isn't he looking a little bedraggled? Like the hair's a little weird.
It's
He's
coming
looking
out
a
the
little-
back like a rat tail.
Yeah, he's looking a little bedraggled.
He's looking
Neelix.
bedraggled. His smock and his poofy purple pie man and pelican peak hat has this
His
sort
what?
of like his
His
poofy
purple
hat.
pie man and Pelican Peak.
It has this pattern. I can't decide if it was just like a like a mid-90s sort of feeling, or is it like designed by like a 5-year-old? Because she's very messy crayon patchwork, that
Right.
look.
Which is very Neelix.
Very Neelix. So,
ugly patterns is what she's about.
Yes. Especially behaviorally.
And she's bedraggled because of all the stuff that's happening, that's going wrong in the kitchen.
What's happening?
Right.
Well, the replicator is not working properly, and the fire and the grill is not working properly. So he asks Ensign Wildman to check on all these things.
Pregnant is all get out. He's like, could you crawl underneath this conduit for me?
Right.
And fix this?
And could you also check blah, blah, blah?
Yeah. And she's like, okay, Neelix, sure. But the reason is that Harry Kim can't get down there because clearly it's busy on Voyager. They're experiencing some shortages.
What is happening?
They are, there's a couple things going wrong with the ship, but nothing too crazy. But what really is going down is they suddenly realize that they are approaching Vidian space. Now, as we know, the Vidians are bad news. So the captain says, how do we, sort of circumvent this? And Tom Paris says, listen, there's this huge nebula. By the way, in Star Trek, there's always a huge nebula. That they can hide in that will get them halfway through Vidian space. Okay, let's go through the nebula. But as they're going through the nebula, this is all like the first 10 minutes of this episode.
And while this is happening, Miss Wildman starts having contractions.
She's starting to have the baby. She's going to have baby Naomi. But we'll find that out later.
Right.
And they go through the nebula. Everything seems fine. As they're leaving the nebula, they go through some type of spatial rift.
Some type of
spatial rift that literally it's not like a mirror universe. It's not like another dimension. It's not another time.
They go through the nebula, they hit the spatial rift, and then shit on the ship starts going really fucking wrong.
Like proton bursts.
Yeah.
The
going bad,
weapons offline, and there's no field emitters, and there's a lot of technobabble, and the captain says to B'Elanna, no shields. She's like, send a proton burst every 30 seconds and to get the warp core going. They're a mess, and shit is like blowing up.
And like injuries, there's tons, like engineering goes down.
There's fires and madness.
There's fires. Meanwhile, Ensign Wildman is having a complicated birth.
Right, because
they've been at it for 10 hours. Yeah, because her dad is Qatarian. I thought that the father was Bajoran. He's not. He's Qatarian.
So
and
you got the little spikes that's lodging into her uterine wall, a phrase I never want to hear again.
And the baby is stuck.
I was going to say, is his penis that way as well?
Well, it's certainly scaly because the doctor later makes a point about Qatarians being all scaly.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think I know that guy.
Yeah.
But so the doctor and Cass have to do a fetal transport.
Yes.
To sever the umbilical cord.
Umbilical cord, Charlie.
And transport the little baby into a little like incubator, like Miss Booby and your possums, right?
Right.
But when that happened, I thought, why don't they just do that for every baby?
Right? Why do they even have to
just fucking zap that shit out? Why is having her gag and go through it and Lamaze?
Maybe just like now, some women want to have natural childbirth.
Screw what I mean? That.
Like some people like, give me the drugs.
Ironically, that's what happens when they give birth.
Exactly. Often
screw that.
It happens. But what is it when they numb your spine? What is that called?
Epidural.
Some women are like, listen, I want the epidural. Wake me up when the hairdresser shows.
Give me no pain.
Right.
Yes. So I walk into emergency rooms and I'm like, listen, I want the epidural right away.
Honey, I walk into a bodega. I'm like, give me an epidural. This is stressing me out.
Yeah.
Stressing me out, darling.
Extra epi.
Listen,
I want that bodega cat over there to give me an epidural right now. Okay.
Darling. So Samantha Wildman having her difficult birth, her difficult labor, screaming at the doctor. Good for you, actress Nancy Hauer, for having your moment.
You push.
You fucking hologram.
Yeah.
And
but meanwhile, the ship is a mess.
And because it's a mess, after they transport the baby out of her womb, the medical equipment is getting a little faulty. And because the baby has a hemostatic technobabble medical drama, the baby's in danger, girl. And
The
because
baby's in
all the
danger.
equipment screwed up, bitch, that baby dies.
Yep.
That baby dies.
Along the way.
That baby dies.
But also in this ensuing mess,
Yeah.
Harry Kim also dies.
Oh, girl, we're not even there. Yeah. Okay, so B'Elanna and Harry and Hogan, who's the cute new ensign for a couple of episodes.
Mariah Carey.
Yes.
No, that's not Mariah Carey.
No, that's not Carey.
No. He's the cute new
He's
Mariah
the new
Carey.
Mariah Carey.
He's the new Carey.
He's Hogan, my hero. Okay.
Honey, he's Ensign Hoagie. Yes.
Oh,
I'd
yes.
Eat it.
And you know, bitch,
Sandwich.
that's a 6 footer from Subway, bitch. And I'll bring the mayonnaise, honey, and slap my mayo on it.
And the
You always
Leola
bring
root.
too much mayonnaise.
Too much mayonnaise, girl.
And Leola root.
My
Miss
Leola root, bitch.
That's his drag name on the weekends.
So Hottie Hogan, Leola root, B'Elanna, and Harry Kim go to deck 29, section la 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 la. Jeffrey Tube, which is my new drag king name.
Because there are microfractures all over the ship and
right.
Beaches, and it's a true mess.
It's a hot mess, and Harry's like, and they're all like, they're rushing, and Hogan gets burned to a crisp somehow. His face gets hit by fire, but they have to keep going, and Harry climbs down this thing to fix something. B'Elanna's like, hurry, bitch.
A Jeffrey's tube.
And honey, part of the ship rips off, and Harry is about to fall, and B'Elanna reaches out to get him, and she gets him, but oh no. Harry gets sucked into the vacuum of space, bitch. Harry Kim is dead.
Dead as a doornail.
Dead.
As an Asian doornail.
Oh, girl, honey, it's Miss Honey.
Miss Honey, please.
But, sorry.
People are triggered, girl.
Sorry.
He's dead, girl.
He's dead, girl. But the thing is, though, like, I've seen this episode before. I was expecting it, and when he got sucked out of the ship, like, I still gagged a little bit.
No.
Yes.
Still gagged a little bit.
Not Kim.
And
Even though he's my least favorite character.
Well, and props to Garrett Wang, because if you watch when he gets sucked out like that, his physicality, it actually works with what's happening. He's gagging.
Yeah.
He's gagging. And then he's like
dying.
he's a frozen popsicle floating in space.
Once he gets out there.
So Harry Kim is dead. Meanwhile, Cass, hearing all this drama that's going on, it's like, girl, I'm so sorry your baby's dead, but I gotta go. And she dashes to go help.
The doctor tells her to.
No, she volunteers to go.
Oh, that's right.
Samantha is sitting there crying by the incubator, of course, and everyone's sad. The doctor's sad. Neelix is comforting her. And then they're like, we've got a burn. We've got this, that, and the other.
Now, mind you, sickbay is full to the brim.
Of injured.
With injured.
Rim.
Basically, Voyager's going through it, and it's been like 4 minutes of an episode.
Yeah.
And they're getting their asses kicked. And so Cass is like, I'll go. And she goes, and she's running. And B'Elanna's like, hurry, Cass, hurry. And right before Cass gets to where Hogan is lying on the floor, she disappears. She goes through some kind of rift.
Spatial
rift.
And B'Elanna is gasping.
B'Elanna's gasping.
She calls the captain. She's like, yo, Harry Kim is dead, and Cass just disappeared.
Now, once again, I want to stan Kate Mulgrew. So she says, the captain is on the bridge with Chakotay. She hears that Harry is died, and her jaw just gets tight. She looks at Chakotay, but she is the example. But you just, that flicker of pain go past her eyes. It's great acting. And then a little bit later, when everything is calmer, but shit's still hitting the fan, and she's getting the report from Tuvok about injuries, damages, and deaths, like, you just see her jaw get very tight. She gets very quiet. You can see just the flicker of pain in her eyes, but she's like, we've got to do this and this and this and this.
But didn't you find it funny that, her jaw tightened when she heard Harry died, but what got a verbal reaction was, Cass disappeared? What do you mean disappeared?
What do you mean disappeared?
Because Harry's dead, but she can still help Cass. Like, that's the thing. It's triage. It's like, when you're a captain, you have to deal with what's in front of you. Right. And also, you can't show fear, and you can't show the pain. You have to keep going. And I just thought, once again, fucking bravura acting from Kate Mulgrew.
She's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So it's going down. They have to evacuate the bridge because
it's about to blow up.
And B'Elanna's like, she throws a piece of pipe through the spatial rift and says, Captain, the pipe or whatever disappeared, but I'm reading an oxygen, nitrogen atmosphere, another atmosphere. And they're like, another atmosphere? What?
But they have to boogie off of that particular
They got a
deck as
boogie,
well.
and the captain falls and gets a big cut on her face.
No, but the captain
says, "Am
falls.
I?"
The captain falls like 4 or 5 times.
But
and
before they boogie, though, she falls and gets back up, and Tom Paris is like, yo,
you need to get to the doctor.
And she's like, I'm fine.
I said I'm fine.
Right.
Yeah.
I said I'm fine.
It's just a scratch.
It's more than a scratch. Maybe you should
I'm
go.
fine, Lieutenant.
You keep
But
your
honey-
salamander opinions to yourself.
Like death drops for the children, honey. Death drops for the children.
And Paris is like, yo, I thought we had a thing, you know.
We have
listen,
children.
We have
got
children out there.
kids.
Yeah. But she's like, no, bitch, I'm rough and tough with my Afro puff. But then finally she's like, okay, I got to go. And as she's dashing off of the bridge, the last one to go, she sees
A ghost image of another Voyager.
another
With
Captain
another
Janeway.
Captain Janeway.
Mhm.
And that captain
It's
sees
fine.
her.
Yeah.
So then we cut to this other Captain Janeway on this other bridge of Voyager. Everything looks fine.
And then in another moment of bravura acting from Kate Mulgrew, Kate just stands up. And what I love is that this captain knows this crew is going to trust her. They're not going to think she's crazy and seeing stuff. She stands up. Chakotay's like, what's wrong? And she's like, I just saw myself. A ghost image of myself run into the turbo lift, and I look like hell. And like the way she says it, like it spooks her because she can see that something's wrong. And like
She do look busted. Her hair is coming out of her bun.
the bun is out, and a testament to her crew that they're not like the captain is seeing things like right away.
Well,
Let's
she's like,
figure out what's going on.
Ensign Kim, scan the bridge for any anomalies. So intact Captain Janeway has Kim scan for any anomalies, and he finds a spatial rift that lasted a millisecond
Yes.
or something,
A microsecond.
a microsecond. And so clearly there are two
She's
Voyagers.
not seeing things. There are
Right.
there is actually proof that there is something going on.
Exactly. So there's two Voyagers and two of everybody on the crew.
So then the captain decides to go down to sickbay. Ostensibly, you think it's to check on the baby, but Booby, what is she goes down to check on the baby?
Intact captain. Right.
Intact captain.
Right.
But Booby, she goes down to sickbay.
Right. And she sees the Kess from the other ship incapacitated.
But in this Voyager, Wildman's baby is alive
And
Yep.
well.
and well. But
And so
the
is Kim.
And so is Harry.
And so is Harry. So at this point on this Voyager, the intact Voyager, there's a complete crew plus two Kesses, the extra Kess that came through the rift. And they revive her. But also, if the captain, when she went down to sickbay, knew there was another Kess there, why was she so gagged about seeing a ghost image of herself? Because by the time she gets there, she's like, and how's our other patient? Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's just
Right.
storytelling. It's just
Yeah.
like you can't give away certain things before certain things happen.
okay.
It's just storytelling.
So they wake Kess up, and Kess tells them, yo, we got turned out. We're gagging.
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about her outfit for a second, shall we?
With the sleeves cut, the little gap
The
sleeve.
little shoulder cutouts. What do we
Yeah,
think
I
of
loved
that?
it. I loved it.
But kind of a little bit
Very Prada.
but also a little bit Maid Marian.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit
little-
Marion Berry.
A little Maid Marian-ish.
A little Mew Mew.
But also she has like, so the underneath the cutout part, there's sort of an orange undergarment.
Right.
Yes.
Gold.
Gold. Was it gold? And then these sort of like gray leggings, and they go over the boot like stirrup pant style.
Yeah,
Like-
Look at it work.
Like they go,
should work.
somebody's paying attention in costume, because I was like, you better
Trying to
work,
make her
Cass.
pretty.
Oh, she is pretty.
In that
She
dry
ain't
wig.
709 pretty.
Well, she's
Well,
not,
darling, who
So,
is?
We were reading up. Well, okay, that's for
We'll
another
get to
episode.
it. We're
Yeah.
gonna have a generic Star Trek conversation. Oh, thank God, the clouds are coming out. The sun went away.
Ooh.
So they're in sick bay, and Kess is being like, "Yeah, our Voyager got fucked up," and the captain's like, "Where'd this piece of tubing come from? Because
Hey,
nothing's
yeah.
wrong on our ship."
right, yeah. Catherine, you're a scientist. Like, you should intuit what's going on right
Right.
away.
Right.
Yeah.
And So eventually, with B'Elanna's help, and I guess other people, they figure out that there are two Voyagers occupying the same space and same time, because when they went through the plasma field in the nebula, technobabble happened, a phase discrepancy field emitter variance of some sort or whatever.
Spatial rift.
A spatial rift.
Some kind of something.
Some kind of. And B'Elanna figures out a way to communicate with this other ship.
Yes.
She sends them a message that says, basically turn on channel 12.
Right.
And they do. And then now we're back on battle-scarred Voyager.
Oh, wait, can I just mention one little thing?
Yeah.
So there's a moment in the med bay when Kes 1 and Kes 2 are there and the doctor
That hasn't happened yet.
And Catherine Janeway. No, it's that's that moment, and they're talking about like, well, how do we figure out how to reach your ship? Just take a look at Jennifer Lean, Kes 2 on the bed. Bitch,
perched.
She's perched.
She's perched.
She's so perched. She's like, I look good.
Girl, I knew you would say she's perched.
Catch the fashion.
Honey, catch the legs.
And the leg. And I'm like, Jennifer Lean is trying to serve you something.
She's like,
here.
okay, I'm in another dimension, but honey, I'm going to slay.
I'm still
perched,
lovely.
girl.
Yes,
lovely.
yes, exactly. Good point, Matinga. Excellent point.
I just had to say that.
She is perched. I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah.
So she's perched, but she's gagging.
But she is gagging.
Gagging like the rest of them on original Voyager, other Voyager with the dead Harry Kim and a dead baby.
Dead baby.
Yeah.
Looking busted. Janeway looking busted. Everybody busted.
Yeah.
And they're able to communicate suddenly because of B'Elanna. And on a little view screen, intact Janeway appears. And she's like, Captain, this is not an illusion. You're just gagging.
Yeah, I know you're gagging.
Because we're gagging.
Because we're gagging. We're all gagging. What's going on? And somehow it's explained how atoms doubled and matter was doubled, right? But not antimatter. And so when the solution being proton bursts at the warp core happened on intact Voyager,
they were destroying the other Voyager.
It fucked up other Voyager because the matter was duplicated, but not the antimatter. And the antimatter is where the protein. I had a protein burst once. Ooh, he didn't call me back. Mm-hmm. That's where the proton bursts are coming from. So they're drawing on the same source. And I guess by a hair, the other Voyager got there first.
Because you could recreate matter, but not antimatter. And I guess that has to do with some famous Kent State experiment.
Right. That she mentions a couple of times.
Is that a real thing?
I think it might be, yeah.
Okay. Kent State, where they had all those protests in 1960 or something.
I mean, I think.
I'm not even sure, but I'll take your word for it. I'm no scientist, but look at these hands. So, but what it comes down to is that there are two Voyagers in the same space and time, and
what they're trying to do is recreate the same circumstances that made the ships split. Spatially. And so they do recreate that experiment. However, it does not work for some reason.
While they're doing that, Vidian ships.
Now the Vidians have shown up.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like we jumped over something completely.
No, well, what happened?
We totally jumped over something. Wait a minute. Let's back up for a second. Matinga, give your explanation again about what happened.
So to remedy the situation, what both ships figure out that they need to do is they need to recreate the exact circumstances that created this spatial rift. And they do so. However, this particular experiment fails and makes the situation worse.
Because intact Janeway and battle-scarred Kes go back through the rift.
Yes.
And show up on damaged Voyager.
Right.
That's the gag.
Right. At which point you've got two Janeways and two Kesses, minus one Harry Kim and one dead baby. But you've got two Janeways and two Kesses, and the two Janeways have a little chit-chat.
They're like, we need to talk.
Meeting of the minds.
A meeting of the minds, one mind.
And then once again, like Janeway acting against herself.
Major acting.
Major acting. And also,
so good.
Intact Janeway knows that messed up Janeway is willing to give up her ship, destroy her ship to save intact Voyager. But intact Janeway is like, no, there's got to be a different way. And messed up Janeway is like, you know me, you are me.
Right.
You
I'll have
know-
security take you off of this bridge.
And you know I will.
And you know I will.
I've made my decision. Please don't make me call security and have you escorted off my ship because you know I'll do it.
It's good. It's
Because they're the same
good.
person.
Yeah. And so intact Janeway begs for 15 minutes.
One thing about that scene, though, I think the positioning of the two Janeways was a little off.
Yeah, she was looking up and she was not looking directly
Battle
in her
scarred
eyes.
Janeway was looking a little high.
Right.
Well, she looked a little high, but her
Yeah.
eye line was too. The eye lines weren't matching up. But
Right.
overall,
but the
work.
acting was incredible.
Oh my God! Hello.
They were like a couple of inches apart, really.
Yeah, they really,
Well, they're
really were.
leaning toward each other.
And so intact Janeway goes back to her ship. Everyone's back on their respective ships where they were, and they're trying to make it happen. And they're like sort of like back and forth, like trying to figure it out. And then they pick up a ship coming in.
Right.
And
One
it
ship?
is first it's one,
Yes.
and it was
The Vidians.
the Vidians, the organ harvesting, creepy,
Phage
scabby looking,
motherfuckers.
phage motherfucking Vidians in a big ass gold ship.
Looking lovely.
But
The
they
ship.
yeah, and so we come to the Vidian ship,
A warship.
and they're looking like they got just a cornflakes all over them. They're so nasty.
The
One
brand
for
new Vidians.
The brand new Vidians, and the Branch Covidians,
Yes.
and they can tell that Voyager's in trouble and that shields and weapons are messed up, but they're only able to pick up one Voyager. They don't
Right.
see the battle damage Voyager
Correct.
Right.
for some reason.
But both Voyagers don't know this quite just yet.
Mhm.
But they figure it out once the battle starts. That once the battle starts, it's affecting the Voyager that's still in decent shape. Although, mind you,
Intact.
even the one that's intact is still having trouble with its shields and weaponry systems.
Because
it's
they
just
were-
in way better shape,
It's in better shape, but they're still basically defenseless.
but they're still defenseless. But
Mhm.
the weapons are not affecting the battle scarred Voyager. They figure
Because
this
they're
out.
not being detected.
Right.
And so the Vidians are able to fire at Voyager and then board the ship.
Yeah. And
300.
they're taking Voyager over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How many, Booby?
Like 300 and something.
And they're carrying. I mean, it looks like they start in sick bay. No, in
And
the
the-
hallway. In the
In the
hallway.
hallways.
They get
With
Tuvok first.
Tuvok and Tom.
And they shoot Tuvok, and then they're like, one of his kidneys is messed up, but his pancreas is lovely.
Start extracting, they say.
Start
or something.
extracting. Harvest her, darling. And then Tom is running in a hallway, giving a little bit of looking
Gasping.
like he's
She's
gasping, but all fit and trim. And I'm like, you better run, baby. You better come home to me, baby.
Run
You better
forward.
run.
I would say Tom looks trim. I'm not sure how fit he looks. But
He
he does look
looks
trim.
fit. I want to say about the Voyager
He
cast.
got grimace hips. What you talking about?
Hey, Hamburglar. Paris, Chakotay, Tuvok, Hogan, Kim. There's a lot of good-looking dudes on that ship.
There's a bird on the feeder behind you.
Oh, honey, they carry
Where?
on right
How
behind.
can you even tell? Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
was
she's
so cute.
She's like Bird Central over here. There's some amazing birds over here, but there's no birds on Voyager.
No.
And Neelix, I'm not going to include Neelix of the Hot Guy Roundup because he's under all that squirrel makeup and he's got those.
I'm sure in
unfortunate-
Talaxia, he's probably a stud.
no, even on Talaxia, she's
Honey.
tired.
Cover girl, don't cover Talaxian.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
She's
no.
like, you could tell like she's all talk.
Yeah.
I don't know what the
Okay.
Talaxian word for brick is, but that's Neelix.
Yeah.
But so anyway, the Vidians are running around, killing
Harvesting
the crew,
organs.
harvesting organs. They kill Tuvok. They get Paris. They go into sickbay and they start harvesting Wildman, who has just had
Had a
and
baby.
lost her baby.
All
And the
s-
baby is hiding. I mean, the doctor's hiding.
The
baby.
doctor took the
Right.
baby. The baby with little bumps on its little head, so cute, little Katarian bumps. Cute little baby actor.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't like kids, you know me. That baby was cute. That baby was cute. So the doctor takes the baby and he's like hiding to keep the baby safe. Although I will say that Miss Wildman gave that baby up without a fight pretty quick. When the doctor's like, I'll take the
I'll
baby.
hide her.
I'll be like, stuff that shit back in my womb.
I'm
honey."
going with you.
Yeah, why didn't he take her?
maybe she just didn't have the strength. Maybe she was like still recovering.
Or Poonie was still
she,
hurting.
Yeah, she trusted the doctor to protect her baby. Her
Right,
pununi.
Her Panuni. So the Vidians, they run rampant, and the captain is on the bridge like, okay, we're outnumbered 2-1. This is some bullshit. And the and damaged Janeway is like, well, they haven't spooked us. We could send security over. And intact Janeway is like, no, because then they'll detect you and that'll put us all at risk and da-da-da-da. So intact Janeway actually makes the decision to self-destruct her Voyager.
Right.
Which is a flip. Like it was a twist.
It was a total twist.
The other Voyager is the original Voyager.
They're both original Voyager.
Right.
They're both original. They just diverged at a point in time. Up to that very point, they're the same ship.
Right. Kind of like how, in a way, if they had been able to save both ships, it would have been like, remember that episode of STNG where a transporter incident creates a separate Riker? Remember that episode?
Tom Riker.
I want to say yes.
Creates Tom Riker, and that's like that Tom Riker. That's it's the same dude. Just
is it though? Because Tom Riker was like shady.
He was shady.
He was a scoundrel. I don't know if it was the same exact Riker.
It's the same Riker because that Riker, remember, had to live in a bunker for 9 years and go insane.
Is that why I found him slightly hotter?
Well, maybe. And then, but so what happens is that Riker, once he was created, then became his own person, and the regular Riker kept on going.
Okay.
But like DNA wise and everything, it's the same exact.
Speaking of Riker, just for a hot second, the actress that plays Deanna Troi, Marina Sirtis.
Yes.
Get into her Twitter feed. She is savage and hilarious, and I love her. I loved her before. I love her even more right now.
And you know what? A knockout little actress.
Fantastic. I love her. Get into her Twitter.
Hey.
Yeah.
Who would you do first, Riker or Chakotay?
Who? At what point in time?
When both of them were at their prime.
I'm going to say Riker. He was so crotchy.
I would do Chakotay then and Chakotay now.
I would do Chakotay.
I think his hair is lovely now.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get into it. We're going to get into it. I definitely want to get into it.
Okay.
I would do them both. They could spit roast me. I don't care. Call me fucking Delta Quadrant hot dog. I don't care. Circling back.
They'll call you Delta Dawn.
They'll call me Delta Don't. So.
Call you Delta Work.
Where are we? We are. Okay. So intact Janeway is going to self-destruct her ship. But before she does and puts it on silent, smart lady, she tells Harry, you take the baby and you go over to the other Voyager.
Right.
I mean, what a move.
Brilliant.
What a move, man.
And for a split second, Harry's like, what? And
what?
Says, that's a motherfucking order.
An order.
And she brooks no discussion. The way she says, go, ensign.
Go, run.
Yeah, and it's like, okay.
So he goes to sickbay and has his little action sequence where he kills a couple of Vidians.
Nice a little twirl.
Yeah, nice little heroic moment for
Harry. His little flip, yeah.
Yeah.
And finds the doctor with the baby. The doctor, Harry tells him what's up. The doctor hands Harry the baby, and tick, 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 tick. The self-destruct thing is happening. The Vidians enter the bridge. Captain Janeway, intact Captain Janeway, cool as a cucumber.
Yep.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Welcome to the bridge.
Welcome to the bridge.
3, 2, 1, kablam. And the self-destruct happens. And it starts exploding, and Harry and the baby make it through the rift just in time before intact Voyager and the Vidian ship are destroyed. And waiting on the other side of the rift are B'Elanna and Tuvok and
the captain,
right? And the captain?
Yeah.
Is the captain there?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, there's a welcoming party. So, in the end, intact, in quotes, Voyager self-destructs. The Vidian ship is gone. Oh, by the way, they're near 2 planets with a bunch of Vidians on it. So the Vidian ship is gone. Intact Voyager is gone. Battle damaged Voyager remains with intact Harry Kim replacing dead Harry Kim and intact
living baby
replacing unfortunately dead baby Wildman.
Right.
So once again, the crew is complete.
Right.
For what it's worth.
And thin.
And thin. Because no one's fat in Starfleet, but also
Bolians ain't trim, darling.
Oh, but they're not in Starfleet. That Bolian.
They're
Oh no, that's
not?
not. That's actually they are in Starfleet. That Bolian was in Starfleet.
Yeah. On Voyager.
On Voyager.
Who's that blubbery junk trader? Oh, that comes later. Anyway,
That's Star Wars.
No, not Udon Plot Plot. Not that guy who gives her a quarter ration.
Right.
No, when there's like, this is our junk pile. This is our debris field. I think he comes later.
It's
Right?
later.
Okay,
Yeah.
he's much like hitting it, but he's also not Federation. I'm losing my thread. So Matinga, bring us home.
So you
Bring us home.
So it is left unsaid, but it is. I think it's okay to assume that once the other Voyager is destroyed, the reserves of antimatter return to normal.
Right.
Yes, this particular Voyager is heavily damaged, but its antimatter has returned, and they have the energy to repair the ship. Because in the very next scene, which happens in the sickbay, things look pretty okay again, which is like a Voyager thing.
Right.
They recuperate pretty quickly.
Yeah, and Harry has a moment of like, I mean, I know that this is my Voyager, and yet it's not my Voyager. And Miss Janeway has the lovely line, which is,
Bring it, girl. Bring it.
We are Starfleet officers. Weird is part of the job.
Right.
Because Harry feels so weird about it.
And that's the end of the episode. Great closing line.
What I like about this episode, which happens less and less as the show goes on, is that it really shows what a desperate and precarious situation this crew is in, how quickly the tide could turn for them. And
Yep.
it turns for them again here and there, year
Oh,
of
yeah.
hell and blah, 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 blah. But they do it less and less. The ship is usually gleaming and bright and fabulous. But this is a moment when it could have ended quite badly for them, and it took those two Janeways to save the day.
Well, it did end badly for half of them. They're dead.
Right.
'Cause
But
those-
they're- yeah.
That crew was just as legitimate as the other crew.
Right.
Yes.
So Harry is aware that he's on the quote unquote other Voyager. Everyone's aware of it. It's never really mentioned again.
No.
And also, I would like to know what Ensign Wildman's reaction to
I
his
was just
baby
thinking
is.
that. Is this my baby?
Is this my
Oh.
baby?
You know what? I would have. It looked like her baby. It smelled like her baby. She had just lost her baby.
If it
I mean-
walks like a duck.
Yeah. Well, no. I think she probably still mourned
Yeah.
the baby that came out of her for
Right.
sure.
Right.
But she still had her and her husband's baby.
Because
Biologically.
biologically speaking, that is
Biologically,
the
yeah.
same being that was inside of her
It's the
6 hours
same being.
earlier.
Right.
But like, but also like, is it the same soul? Like, do they have the same
Ooh.
soul?
They
You know
don't
what I
really
mean?
address it.
Right. So it's like it is, but it isn't the same person.
I mean, they acknowledge it with Harry. They don't bring it up with the baby. They acknowledge it with Harry. Like, he's like, this is my ship. This is
Questioning.
not my ship. It's kind of weird. Da, 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 da. They don't really bring it up again, but it is one of the things I like about Star Trek is how it plays with realities, and there can be alternate timelines and alternate realities and alternate states of being. And I
Yeah.
think that this episode really pulled it off well, and the action
Yes.
sequences were fucking spot on.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
it was a great episode. I'm going to give Deadlock, I'm going to give it like 4.2 fire Chakotays. It's my favorite one that we've covered so far.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought it really held together, and it was exciting to watch. And the 11th hour twist with the Vidians, because bad enough that they're like, there's two of them
Yes,
and people are dead, but then you add Vidians on top of it. Amazing. Mulgrew, fantastic. And get into B'Elanna too. Every time intact Janeway's like, speed it up or stop it. Look at B'Elanna's face. She's over it.
Yeah. And also when the two Janeways are talking on the view screen, the two B'Elannas see each other and just very subtly kind of go,
Right. And then intact
like,
B'Elanna's
oh,
like,
shoot.
oh, I got it like that.
she's like, better hair.
Better hair, darling.
And eyebrows.
And
Yes.
eyebrows. So I give it 4.2 fire Chakotays.
I'm gonna give it a solid 4 Leola root for sure.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'll give it a 4 as well.
Okay. Well, then
Quite
One of the
enjoyable.
better episodes of this series ever.
a great episode. And I've seen it before, and watching it again,
It was
felt
kind of like Days of Future Past.
Yeah,
Oh,
and a little bit
yeah.
like, and also a little bit like Year of Hell, which comes later.
Which comes later. But altogether, a great episode of Voyager. Everyone working like a crew, like a team.
Yeah,
The acting was fantastic across the board.
it fit together really beautifully.
It was like a puzzle that fit together really beautifully.
Yeah,
And I think
so
that now,
good.
with my 4.2, I think this overtakes Threshold as our highest rated episode.
And what was Threshold about?
The salamander sex, darling.
Oh,
Salamander.
yes.
Yeah. So
This episode's much more serious.
Yeah.
before we get into some side discussions, if you're enjoying the content, and I know that you are if you listen this far, feel free to hit us up on Patreon and Venmo at Workshop, WERQSHOP Workshop.
And also, please like and subscribe and hit that bell icon as well on YouTube so that you'll be informed every time we put something out that that is new. And yes.
And Booby, you want to say something?
No.
Yes, you do. You want to say rate and review us.
Oh, rate and review us. Yes.
Podcast darlings.
That's right.
Yes.
But only
On
give
the
us 5
pods.
stars.
Yes.
Only 5 stars. Now,
Because we want to keep giving you content.
we want to give you the benefit of the doubt. So, did you guys watch that Voyager reunion?
I am going to, but I didn't.
I skimmed
talk
over.
about it.
Okay, so before we wrap up the episode, I'm just going to say to the listeners and viewers, if you haven't seen it yet, please do. It's on YouTube. It's called Stars at Home, which is a series that Seth Rudetsky and James do. It's a benefit for the Actors Fund because, you know, performers of all stripe in this current situation, pandemically speaking, are gagging. So it's a fundraiser for performers. It's called Stars at Home, and they did a Voyager reunion episode a few weeks back. I watched it the other night. I really want you guys to watch it so we can discuss it.
I'm going to watch it.
Is Tom Paris in it?
I'm not saying just watch. It's so good. It's so good. And I'm going to put a link in the description below so you guys at home or out there, wherever you are, can check out Stars at Home Voyager Reunion and make a donation for actors and performers for the Actors Fund. Side note, there's a Star Trek cruise coming up next March I just heard about.
Yes.
If it
Oh
happens.
my God, it sounds amazing.
You want to go?
I don't do
Do you want to
boats.
go?
Do you want to go? Why you want to take your love from me? Chakotay.
But it might be sort of interesting on the last Voyager cruise, which actually happened right before the corona virus thing happened.
Right.
You had Jerry Ryan,
Picardo.
Picardo, Manu, and Teriyami. You had Jonathan Del Arco. Like, you had a lot of cool people.
Who plays Hugh, who, by the way, sexy as fuck.
Sexy
Hugh.
as fuck. Hugh.
From Next Gen.
Next Gen.
He's tasty, yo.
And he's gay, and he's out, and he's beautiful.
Whatever, he's hot,
he
yo.
played Borg Drone Hugh, but then he was also on Picard as Hugh again. And Geordi is his best friend.
He could assimilate me anytime, Eddie. Give me those nanoprobes,
I live
motherfucker.
for him. Yeah, give me those nanoprobes.
Give me the honey, give me the maxi probe, darling.
Honey,
Okay.
resistance is futile, darling. Okay, kids, for shits and giggles, this has been Miss Matinga.
You're an asshole. This is Mike Diamond.
And this is Booby.
And this is Fire Chakotay. Goodbye.
Bye.